Yes, good evening, Gwanen. Good evening, good evening. Yeah. Court further orders Lubinda faction not to wear PF regalia of any kind. Yeah. Politics te abana ndamieva. Politics te abana. Politics te abana bane politics te abana. Yarikaba. Oh. Yarikaba. Yarikawa ama politics. Oh. Wasanga baletea. Wasanga baletea bane basanga baletea. Ya. Na fivipa. Ija tumbuka kukaboko. Na fivipa. Ama politics. Ama politics te abana bane. Are you living like a house rent? This is sad. Ngecha shupa chinshi. Uko renting enganda. What is wrong in renting a house? Kuno na ikarani kwana bene kuno. You should even appreciate me, or you should commend me for even renting a house. Panto, I would have just been staying Mumpanga, Ngandala Mu Street. But you see, yarikawa Esther Jada yarikawa politics. Teyakuangalira ko hiyo. Brian K. Tayari knows how to move camps. Ama politics muntu andi. Ama politics it's a club. Ama politics it's my clubs. So you can move from one political party to the other. The power of warfare. When you find that if intafire kwendera bwino, you can move from one political party to the other. You can move from supporting one person to the other. FYI, politics, yes, they are not ideological. They are pretty much the same. This political party is pretty much the same, and whatever. It is about where your interests are met. That's all. It's about where your interests are met. Ema politics talk what Muzambia. Mwira ive party yo ine. Ama politics. It's about interest. It's about interest. Whether those interests are national or personal, politics are about interest. It's about interest when it's about interest. No. Politics is to serve the country. Yeah, you serve the country, but your interests must also be met. That is just the honest truth. Yes, we serve the country, but your interests must also be met. Let no one cheat you to say, no, in politics, see, I just want to save the country. You also have your own interests. I'm a politics, brutal. They are expensive, they are inconveniencing. You can't tell me that you would go in politics and endure so much that is in politics just for you to save people. No one should cheat you. No, I just want to save you. Politics is about service. Yes, it's about service. But your interests are very important. Even you as a voter, your interests are very important. When you are voting for a political party or you are voting for a candidate, you should look at, does this person respond to my interests? Does he meet my expectations? If a person or a political party is not meeting your expectation, or they are not looking after your interests, why should you continue saying, hey, this political party, I belong to this political party, muntu wanga. Chinja timu ukolewe. Yeah. Yeah, naikaba. Naikaba. No, but she phone ili na nkana ili fya bwino. I'm actually hungry to tell you the truth. I'm wondering. Naikaba. So anyway, naikaba. Bad. Naikaba. Yeah. You know, this, so today, there were a number of interesting court cases, okay, judgments. Today, we have 4 judgments. Is it 4? We have the judgment of Mao Sampa. Then we had the judgment of Wouden Findlay. Then we had the judgment of PF in Kabwe. Was there any other judgment? Yeah, no. The other one was just a case yavena Mutale Mwanza and the Chichi days. I have never spoken about that case. Case yakwa Mutale Mwanza na Chichi days, I have never spoken about that case. For the simple reason that Mutale Mwanza, you know, she's a permanent friend. Mutale Mwanza is a friend. And I even qualified as a permanent friend. You know, there are people that they are your friends, and regardless of what happens in between yourselves, you are friends. Mutale Mwanza is a permanent friend. Chichi Days is also a friend, of course, not as close as Mutale Mwanza. So this case, I've been avoiding talking about it. Because the two are my friends. So I've been avoiding talking about it. However, tonight, I'm talking about it, not so much, to discuss the details, but there is just something that I thought that I should explain to you, my viewers. I should explain. There's something that I should just explain for you to understand a little bit, because that case, Chichi Days has sued Mutale Mwanza. So Chichi Days is the complainant. Mutale Mwanza is the accused. And a lot of people have spoken about this. A lot of people have been asking Chichi Days to forgive Mutale Mwanza. Mutale Mwanza has been quiet about it. Sometimes she refers to it in a way, in a tone that, would make you concerned. Now, this case came up for, the case started off. And in all criminal matters, the case starts by the magistrate reading to you the offense. All criminal matters, when you go to court, the magistrate starts by reading to you the charge, or you have been accused of whatever. And then asks you, how do you plead? Do you plead guilty or not guilty? Do you plead guilty or not guilty? Now, you'll be able to respond, not guilty or guilty, okay? And from there, the case starts. So, it's when you plead guilty, they will go into what they call reading of facts surrounding your case. You have pleaded guilty. What are you pleading guilty to? So the state will present facts of the case, and then the magistrate will give a judgment and sentencing. When you plead not guilty, it goes to trial. So earlier, this case of Mutale Mwanza and the Chichi Days came before the magistrate, and Mutale Mwanza pleaded not guilty. pleaded not guilty, meaning we were supposed to go to trial. And I think that trial was supposed to start today, where Chichidays or the state was supposed to call witnesses to testify against Mutalemwanza. But interestingly, and why I'm even talking about it today, there was an adjournment, or there was an application for adjournment by Mutalemwanza's lawyers. And the application was to the effect that they want to get fresh instruction on the plea of not guilty. Now, Mutalemwanza already pleaded not guilty, meaning we were supposed to go to trial. But today, trial could not start. Why? Because the lawyer is saying he wants to receive instructions from Mutalemwanza on the pleading of not guilty. Now, I'm wondering what is going on there. Is Mutalemwanza trying to change from not guilty to guilty? What's going on? Or is it because there have been negotiations in the background between Chichidays and Mutalemwanza that we may see this case being withdrawn? Or is it because Mutalemwanza wants to plead guilty and maybe there is a pre-bargain, whereby, the accused engages the state on what should happen to say, okay, I'll plead guilty. Okay, you just plead guilty. And when you plead guilty, we will just fine you. Okay? Or we will jail you, but suspended sentence. I am wondering, and I am talking to you so that you understand, to take interest in that case. What is going on? What is going on? Is Mutalemwanza and Chichidays, are they talking? Are they talking such that we may see this case being withdrawn? One. Is it that Mutalemwanza is trying to enter a plea bargain with the state, whereby the state they have agreed to, okay, you plead guilty, but we will give you a suspended sentence, or we'll give you a fine? Is it? So this is what is going on around that case. I've been following it, and today the turn of things made me to say, what is going on here? What is going on that matter? What is going on in that matter? I will not go further than that, but just to draw your attention to say, let's look at that case. Where is it going? But if I can explain a little bit further, is that even if Chichidays, for example, Chichidays may say, okay, I'm withdrawing the case, because some of you have been saying, no, Chichidays, withdraw the case. Chichidays, withdraw the case. Just forgive Mutalemwanza. Okay, fine. If Chichidays would say, okay, no, I'm withdrawing this matter, I no longer have interest and whatever. Mind you, it is not automatic that the state would withdraw the matter. You can withdraw the matter, but the state, if they want, because the cases that we complain before the police, the one that prosecutes, it is the state. The complainant just turns out to be a witness. So it is possible that Chichidays can even say, no, I'm withdrawing this matter. And yet the state will say, no, we are continuing, we are going to prosecute this matter. We have seen these cases, even in my case, where Chief Mukuni said, no, I'm not interested. Chief Mukuni said, I'm not interested. And you would have expected that the state would have withdrawn the matter. The state did not withdraw the matter. They kept on with the matter. And the matter is still there. In spite of Chief Mukuni coming out to say, no, I'm not interested in this matter. So it is possible. Another situation is the Given Lubinda and Chris Zuma Nzimba issue. Given Lubinda went and complained to the police. And later on, Given Lubinda withdrew that matter. But still, Chris Zuma Nzimba was arrested. I don't know if he pleaded guilty as well. I don't, if he pleaded, if he took plea, I don't know. I can't remember if he went to court. So it is not just automatic just to say, hey, no, just withdraw the case. Hey, withdraw the case, withdraw the case. No, sometimes you can withdraw the case as a complainant, but the state will still go on. Nonetheless, I'll just leave it there. I will not give my opinion on that case, by the very fact that Mutale Mwanza and the Chichi Days, both of them are my friends. Both of them are my friends, and I will not say more. I'll leave it at that. So anyway, that is one court matter. The other court matter was the one between Vauden Findlay and the state, where the state today fined Vauden Findlay 240,000 for having had 2 passports and a forged endorsement in a passport. Now, 2 passports, all of us as Zambians, we are entitled to have a passport or a reg. But you see, when there are circumstances whereby you have a situation where, maybe you lose a passport and you go and, get another passport. And then later on you find that you find your passport. Now, the rule there is that even if you have 2 passports, both of them which are valid, because at one point you lost a passport, and that passport which you lost, you find it later after you have already acquired another one. So it is possible that you can have 2 valid passports at the same time. Now, the issue is that, or the law is that, you are not supposed to use both of them. You are not supposed to use both of them. And I'm saying this for the purpose of you people to know that when you have 2 passports, whatever circumstances, you end up with 2 passports, make sure you use the one that you got last. Don't use the one that you lost. If you lost it, don't use it, because you have already declared to say, I've lost my passport. I've lost my passport. Or, for example, you realize that your passport is expiring. Then you apply for another passport. They give you a new passport, but the other passport which you realize to say, my passport is going to finish. For example, if you are for endorsement of visas, most countries, they want your passport to be valid for more than 3 months. Most of the times, they want your passport to be valid for more than 3 months. Now, so in that situation, if you realize that your passport is about to expire, maybe you have got 4 months, or maybe just 3 months, or whatever, then you go and get another passport. When you get that passport, don't use the old one. Use the new one. Use the new one, because you have already, by the fact that you are getting another passport, the reason that you are putting is that my old one is expiring. You put that passport aside. You use the passport, the new passport. Don't use the old passport. So, for the sake of civic education or sensitization, I am telling you that if you at any point you find yourself with 2 valid passports, use the new passport. Don't use the old passport. Don't use the old passport, because you have already declared that for some reason you are not able to use that passport. So why should you use it? Use the new passport. Then number 2, in that case, so Vauden was found with 2 passports. I'm not going into the details. The number 2 is the issue of a forged endorsement. A forged endorsement, I don't know the circumstances, but the circumstances usually would be like, maybe, you want to say you came into a country on the 13th, and yet you came on the 16th. So somehow, because you have got influence, you can have an endorsement which is backdated. that is a forged endorsement. And that is a crime. So these two, having two passports, using two passports, it's a crime, Vani. Don't use two passports. Having fake a forged endorsement, it is very serious, very serious offense. Now, Wouden Findlay was fined for both crimes. Both of them are criminal matters, but he was only fined 240,000. Again, on this one, I will not discuss it very much. Why would I not discuss it very much? I will not discuss it very much because I have got so much respect for Magistrate Munyinya. I have got so much respect for Magistrate Munyinya. She's a very professional magistrate, a very good magistrate, and you should tell her I miss her. You know, not quite 10 million, but there are those cases whereby if I go to court, I used to enjoy being in court, forgetting that I'm the accused because of the conduct of the magistrate. Magistrate Munyinya, ni boom. So I will not discuss that matter. But what I can just tell you is that when you have cases before the courts, you need to be very careful how you handle yourself. Be very careful. Be very careful how you handle yourself, even kuri bakapokola. Be careful how you handle yourself, kuri bakapokola. Bakapokola, when they call you, please cooperate. Please cooperate. Don't be unruly. Kirikiti mwambokula tukishanya bakapokola, trying to make them filefichita Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu wants to embarrass the police, wants to make the police stupid. Don't do that. And if you are called to the police and you have got a lawyer like Makebi Zulu, be very careful, because at the end of the day, muntu vintu vingakuipire, things can be worse off. Don't make things worse for yourselves by taking a certain arrogant attitude against the authorities. Honestly, how do you call me at this point in time? How do you call me at this point in time, honestly? Oh, it's this one. I'm getting confused. Hey, hey, hello. Mbekezani, I haven't yet opened the phone lines. I will open the phone lines later. Hey. So the attitude that you take before the police, or more importantly, even in court, the attitude you take in court is very important. Don't go to court wambokula tadika na magistrate. Wambokula wa arrogant. Don't. Vingakuipile. And I strongly believe that the attitude of Wouden Findlay has helped him. The attitude of Wouden Findlay has helped him. Because Wouden Findlay, since the time that he was arrested, he has been cooperating with the law enforcers. This person also. He has been cooperating with the law enforcers. He has been cooperating Kumakoti Kulia. Kumakoti, I think Wouden Findlay, many of us have got a lesson to learn, have got something to learn from the attitude of Wouden Findlay. Remember, Wouden Findlay is one of the rich men that we have in the country. Is one of the rich men which we have in the country. But the attitude that Wouden Findlay took in court has been very good, exemplary. You check the attitude of Wouden Findlay. We didn't see Wouden Findlay putting up, on social media, my case this, I'm being victimized, whatever, because I was a friend of Edgar Lungu. No, we didn't see that. We didn't see that. We didn't see the pomposity that we have seen with these other people, especially those who were associated with Edgar Lungu. We didn't see that. And frankly speaking, I feel that, the magistrate took note of the attitude of Wouden Findlay, took note of the attitude of Wouden Findlay. And I think it helped him. It helped him, to be given that fine. Because these two cases, they are very serious. Don't even be cheated. Being found with two passports, using two passports at the same time, it is very serious. You can go to jail. Having a forged endorsement in your passport is a very serious offense. You would go to jail. But I strongly believe that the attitude of Wouden Findlay helped. And I'm discussing it on this platform to urge some of you, because some of us, we take this political stance. Whenever we have a case, we want to take it so political and, whatever. You get even these lawyers who are so zealous and they want to look like they know it. These cases, at the end of the day, you pay for it. So, that's why I'm discussing that one. Anyway, going next, I'm discussing the case that the other case that was there was the case of Mao Sampa. The case of Mao Sampa is whereby, now the case of PF is quite complex. It's quite complex. It has got many branches, many tentacles. Case yaba PF yaliba complex. Yeah, part of cases surrounding the PF. But whatever has been going on, one thing that I want you people to know, it has all been created by the PF Aveni. It has all been created by the PF Aveni. I want you people to not to be cheated, because there are some people that keep bringing the ruling party, particularly Hakainde Hichilema, that Hakainde Hichilema orchestrated, the takeover of PF, or he sabotaged PF. Hakainde Hichilema was not anywhere near the confusion of PF, not anywhere near the confusion of PF. Please na papata, let us be fair even when we are doing politics. Don't listen to these PF disgruntled members who accuse Hakainde Hichilema of having had orchestrated the takeover or the destruction of PF. Hakainde Hichilema was not anywhere near. And I can challenge them, and I know they are watching. I can challenge them. I'm going to open phone lines. They can call me and tell me where Hakainde Hichilema is in the confusion of PF. There is nowhere where Hakainde Hichilema is. Please take this one very seriously, because as we are going towards elections, when these people will lose, because they are losing. But PF, they are losing. They are losing. And their loss, the destruction of PF, is not because of Hakainde Hichilema. It is because of the selfishness of the individual, the selfishness, the arrogance, the pride of the PF members. Where did this case start? This case started with the differing of Given Lubinda and Mao Sampa. This is the fountain. The confusion that you see in PF, the genesis is the conflict between Mao Sampa and Given Lubinda. Today you see them holding hand in hand like Niba gay, like a gay couple. Glad enough that the wife was there of Mao Sampa, because sometimes Mao Sampanga barenda na Given Lubinda kuti wamona kwati niba gay. But that is just for whatever. So, but those two, as much as they walk like a married couple, today Mao Sampa is walking with Given Lubinda like a married couple. But those are the fountain, those are the genesis of the problems that we have in PF. Those two. When those two differed, that is when the volcano erupted. And when they were differing, Hakainde Hichilema was not anywhere near. He was not anywhere near. What was the issue? The issue was Mao Sampa became frustrated. We have paid them at 200, but at React convention. Why are we not going for convention? And as he was ranting, expressing his frustrations, what happened? Given Lubinda as acting president, he suspended Mao's. Mao's Chamunyonga. Mao's Chamunyonga. How can you suspend me? Mao Sampa was upset. As Mao Sampa was reacting, given Lubinda and his friends, they went ahead and even expelled Mao's. Mao's Nala Milanga. Nala Milanga. That is how Mao's came up with that convention. That is how Mao's came up with that convention. Now, I am telling you this. Where is HH? Where is HH? Where is HH? Is it HH who went and told him to say Pangaka fake convention? If that is true, today Mao Sampa is not with the Hakainde Hichilema. Why doesn't he tell us? Why hasn't he revealed if HH is the one that sent him? Anyway, Mao Sampa now staged up that convention and he installed himself as president. Given Lubinda na Edgar Lungu Bakoku in the court, Mao Sampa grabbed the PF from Given Lubinda, from Edgar Lungu. He grabbed it. He grabbed it. Reason, Mao Sampa had paid as one of the presidential candidates. And yet, Given Lubinda Nava Edgar Lungu, they could not sanction a convention. They could not sanction a convention. Mao Sampa becomes frustrated. He comes up with a convention. Convention, he grabs the PF. And he appoints Morgan Ngona. He appoints Morgan Ngona as Secretary General. From today, I'm the president and I have appointed you, Morgan Ngona, as the Secretary General. Now, Secretary General of a party is an executive director. He is the one who runs the party. The president does not run the party. The one who runs the party is the Secretary General. So Mao Sampa appointed Morgan Ngona as the executive director, the Secretary General. And he appointed Chabinga as a leader of opposition in parliament, removing Brian Mundubire. Now, along the way, Brian Mundubire started talking. Brian Mundubire and his colleagues, Brian Mundubire, started talking with Mao Sampa to bring Mao Sampa back to PF. And these things I'm telling you, these are facts. Brian Mundubire is the one together with what is that one? Is it Pankata? They are the ones that engaged Mao's. Edgar Lungu refused to engage Mao's. But Brian Mundubire and others, they persisted. Navena Kampyongo, they persisted. There were three of them. Kampyongo, Brian Mundubire, and what's his name? I think is it Kampata? Yeah. Anyway, they engaged Mao's. And somehow talking, and what they were asking Mao's, they were telling Mao's, what you did was wrong. What you should do, Mao's, is to go to court and deny that, that convention was useless, so that we get back PF. Mao Sampa could not do it. Anyway, eventually Mao's accepted. And Mao said, look, Imwe, you are not the leaders of PF. I need to meet the main man who was Edgar Lungu. And these people, they went and convinced Edgar Lungu to meet Mao Sampa. That is how Mao Sampa and Edgar Lungu met. Those are the pictures you see. Those were efforts of Brian Munduvile and Kampyongo and another one. I mean, the name, I'm missing it anyway there. But these three, they are the ones that convinced Edgar Lungu. I used to have conversations relating to Mao's. Now Edgar Lungu, most of the times, Vale Kana, to meet Mao Sampa. Anyway, finally they met. And when they met, unfortunately, Mao Sampa asked for money. He wanted to be compensated. He said, I used them a lawyer, Chabana Shani, quite now guys who are involved, businessman, who are double. Could be UPND, na could be PF. There is a businessman who are mufiama mines. Mu guys, who are mufiama mines. Aladia double. And this guy was one of the guys that also came up and said, we had put in money and we want money out of it. From what I heard, that they asked for 2 million kwacha. And of course, you know how Edgar Lungu was. Edgar Lungu just heard them and say, okay, we will come and talk. I'll get back to you. But if Mapofie, I went there. Valungu waishenje mwamuna watadi umuntu mulanda pati yo mouse because me I was speaking for mouse. I understood his frustration. Number bale FMP and I cannot compensate them for betraying me. Those were the words. How can I reward someone for betraying me? Those were the words of Edgar Lungu. How can I reward someone for betraying me? They betrayed me and now they are coming asking for money. That is how Yalama cases which were there, where Mao Sampa was supposed to go and denounce, they refused. But in the meantime, those discussions that Mao was having, Navena Edgar Lungu, Navantwani, Mao Sampa was not fully convincing Chabinga and Morgan. Okay? He was not communicating with them properly. And they felt, uyuma mbala, ale twenda mumano. Kukubana Edgar Lungu without us. Because Ngona na Chabinga, they thought that when Mao was going to meet Edgar Lungu, he was supposed to go with them because Valiwanga, Batatu, he was supposed to go with them. But he went alone. So that created a mistrust between Chabinga and Mao Sampa. And that is how now kwa baka confusion. Dida kule baka confusion yabe nebekoko. Maozi fires Ngona. Ngona ebele kui, you can't fire us. We are the owners of PF now. I am also firing you. I am firing you, charging you for misconduct, for going to meet Edgar Lungu without us. That is how Ngona fired Maus and appointed Chabinga as president. Number I want you people to follow how these things unfolded. And in all these things, I will ask you again, where is HH? Where is HH? There is nowhere where HH is coming in. There is nowhere where UPND is coming in. These things were unfolding within the PF. So Morgan Ngona now fires Maozi and appoints Chabinga. Did you actually appoint if your Mao Sampa went to court here, went to court? So these cases, there are two more cases. But this one which came today, it is Mao, it is after Morgan Ngona fired Maoz and expelled Maoz. He expected that the speaker will rule that Mao Sampa should not be in parliament. Okay? So he put this court case to say, Imama speaker, why are you keeping Mao's in parliament? When Mao's na limutamfia, I have expelled Mao's as the executive director, as the secretary general of the party PF. This guy must not be there. He must not be there. And that was the judgment which came up today. And the judgment was very simple. To say, no, the speaker cannot remove mouths from parliament for the simple reasons that there are a number of cases which are challenging the legitimacy of the leaders of PF. Because as we speak, there are cases relating to Mao's Sampa, challenging Mao's, to say, Mao's, your convention was illegal. There are cases to the effect that Mao's is saying that, no, I am the president against Venangona. No, I'm the president. There are cases where Venangona, Antoine Kane, and Chabinga, they have also sued Mao's to say, you don't belong to PF. We are the owners of PF. So the PF leadership is challenged. There are those who are claiming to say Mao Sampa's convention was illegal. And they are together, by the way. Now, then there are those who are saying, then Mao Sampa himself also is claiming to say, no, I'm the president. Confusion bad. You know, you can imagine. There are those who say there are cases relating to that convention where they are saying, no, that convention was illegal. Then there are cases where Mao Sampa is saying, no, I'm the president. Then there are the cases whereby now Ngona and the Chabinga are saying, no, Mao Sampa, you are expelled. And Mao Sampa, by the way, has been expelled twice. Twice. First, he was expelled in PF by given Lubinda. Confusion confusion. Because today, look at this nonsense. First of all, the one who started to expel Mao's, it's given Lubinda. He's the one that started. Given Lubinda expelled Mao's. And that's how Mao's got upset and staged a convention. Installed himself as president. After he installs himself as president, he tries to go to Edgar Lungu, Morgan Ngona, and Chabinga. They lose trust in him. They talk over PF, appoints Chabinga as president. So now the cases are like this now. No, PF yesu. Given when they say, no, it's our PF. That convention was illegal. Meanwhile, the guy that they are accusing, they are in court, huh? The guy that they are accusing that it was illegal, that convention was illegal, the guy is with them. Can you imagine? At the moment, the guy they are in court with, accusing him to have stolen PF, he's actually with them, and they have reappointed him as the Secretary General. Now, the question is, Imama given Lubinda, we win a mouse Mason that acting as Secretary General, Deputy Secretary General. What happened to the issues relating to his expulsion? Because you expelled him. But today, he's our Secretary General. What happened in your constitution where, you follow those disciplinary matters? You remember these disciplinary issues? They actually came during the times of Mao's again, because Mao's is a cantankerous, is a problem. They actually came where you said, no, you need to reapply. Remember those confusion? You need to reapply 2 years before you are admitted. You remember? You remember? So, did you follow the law that Mao's reapplied? And then you accepted him, and you even installed him. Did you follow those rules? Yeah, become bad. Then Mao Sampa, who is claiming to say, I'm the Deputy Secretary General. He has accepted this position as Deputy Secretary General. Meanwhile, he's also in court saying, I'm the president of PF. And he's contesting this against the Chabinga. He's saying, no, Chabinga is not the president. I am the president. Chabinga now on the other side is saying, no, you are not the president. I am the president. Morgan, when I say, after all, we have expelled you, you shouldn't even be in parliament. And that is how Morgan sued the speaker. And that is the judgment which came today, where now the judge said, nah, there are cases it is not right that a mouse should be kicked out of parliament. So that is that judgment. However, there is another judgment now which came in, a very interesting one. In Kabwe, there was another judgment. Which judgment is this one? There is a judgment now where after my confusion yaba PF yakwa Maozi na Chabinga. Chabinga was appointed by Morgan Ngona as a Secretary General to say, now you are our president. Okay? Now, Maozi maintained, no. I am the president. So Chabinga went to court and he sued that, I am the only president. Nobody else is president, not even given Lubinda. All these Abalechta masquerade as president, as PF, they shouldn't be. I am the only president. That is what Chabinga did. Chabinga has filed because there are cases that have to be discussed, that has to be determined. So Chabinga has put an injunction that given Lubinda, Mao Sampa, and everybody else should not masquerade as PF because he believes he is the president, he's the legitimate president of PF. And according to the court looked at this matter. They said, yeah, well, you are the president. He's also claiming to be president, and others are whatever. Okay, so in the meantime, yeah, let's freeze that. So the judgment today that came out, because when you file an injunction, you file an injunction as an ex parte meaning alone. You go to court to say, look, there is this matter which is currently going on, and before this matter is determined, I don't want somebody to take advantage of the situation. So you stop them from acting. And then they call for an inter-party. When you go for an inter-party, after discussing, at the end of the day, the magistrate or the judge will make a judgment whether to say no, they can continue or they cannot continue. And in this instance, from even those of you who are listening, you would agree with me that surely there are confusion in PF. And since there are confusion, I think it is only right that the judge upholds the injunction to say, let's resolve these matters. Because there are really confusion. It is a cocktail of problems, cocktail of issues. So I have seen Mao's trying to complain, no, whatever. But Mao's, you can confuse yourself as much as you want, but don't confuse the nation. Don't confuse the nation. Mao Sampa, you should be ashamed. You are the causer. You are the person that brought these problems for PF. If there are people that have destroyed PF, it is you, Mao Sampa, and given Lubinda. Those two, who are seeing, ngamwaba given Lubinda, na Mao Sampa, you should look at those people as the genesis of the problems in PF. They have got confusions, Veka. Given Lubinda has got his own problems. Mao Sampa's got his own problems. They have got ego issues, those people. They have got ego issues. For example, Mao Sampa, after he was cheated by given Lubinda, Mao Sampa was infiltrated. Was furious. How can given censure me? How can he suspend me? He became upset. He went rogue. And when he went rogue, but given because of his ego, instead of handling Mao's go but uyu muntu uyu alikwata akabulema mumutwe. Because as a leader, you must know your people. And you know how to take them. Mulamona panonga muletu mama phone. Nali even mwema callers vandi. Nali mishiva. My followers, I know. Mulamona precious. And ndamuchita understand. You must know. Wa musengera mulira ine nshiraveramo. Mwamusengera mulira ine nshiraveramo. Kwa isa na kwa tinani kane Triple H na wa mwishira ina veramo. Atishani udia. Atinani, there is another one. You know, you take them the way they are. That is leadership. Leadership, you have to know how to manage people. Even the most difficult people, you have to know how to handle them. But given Lubinda doesn't have that ability, he doesn't have that capacity. When Mao Sampa started misbehaving, what does he do? He goes and expels him. When he expels him, it escalates the situation. It escalates the situation even between themselves personally. There was feud. They hated each other. Big time egos. No leadership qualities. So those two caused the confusion here in PF. Because Mao Sampa went and grabbed that. Grabbed the thing. But given Lubinda busy, insisting. Brian Mundubile, on the other hand, showed leadership. He showed leadership because for him, Nakampiongo, Nakampata, these three, they continued talking to Maos and they were going to Edgar Lungu. Edgar Lungu was refusing. But these three kept on, intermediating between Maos and Edgar Lungu. But these two, Maos and Given, those are the genesis of problems. Those are the genesis of problems. And look at what Given foot. After look at what happened. After Given, after all these confusions and everything, Edgar Lungu afwa Given Lubinda. He couldn't see through things. Again, he went on with his arrogance. Today we are where we are with all these injunctions and everything. But mostly, if Given Lubinda had leadership qualities, he would have actually managed to have a convention for PF. He would have managed. But he doesn't have. And for him, it is about him. He wants to be the leader. He wants to be the leader. He wants to be the leader. The problem yaba PF, once vale for kuba leaders, uli once vale for kuba president, uli once vale for kuba president, uli once vale for kuba president. This is what has killed PF. Nothing to do with Hakainde Hichilema, nothing to do with UPND. It is themselves, avarice. They are avaricious, these people. These people, they are avaricious. Bali kwa toku itemwa, ni nevo. And that is what has killed PF. It has killed PF. Nothing to do with the Hakainde Hichilema. And I'm taking all this trouble to explain this because I don't want you to be cheated to say, hey, Hakainde Hichilema has gotten PF. No. Kuitemwa kwa wavene. Confusion ya wavene. That is what has killed PF. And these people, they have no shame that they can even go to an extent of using Ichitumbi Chakwa Edgar Lungu to advance their political agenda. This Makebi Zulu is a very selfish guy, a very cunning man, Makebi Zulu. Forget about the nonsense that you like to say. No, Makebi Zulu, was helping you in court and whatever. Forget it. Look at the issue. Focus. In a Makebi Zulu, to tell you the truth, Makebi Zulu was a project Yawa Edgar Lungu from a long time. And I'm not saying this today. I was saying this even when I was in the country. I told Brian Mundubile, I told him, uyu Makebi Zulu, niishi, Brian Mundubile, Valeria Mumbale imo na Makebi Zulu. Valeria Mumbale imo. I told Brian, uyu munobe, ane chifua echi. Brian could not believe me, was like, what? No, Brian, no. Brian, Makebi, no, Makebi is a gentleman. Oh, Makebi, he's a good friend. Makebi is a good friend. Mnatune, every koku. Edgar Lungu was promoting Makebi Zulu. In an alikene, I refused. Makebi Zulu, if there is a guy that has been blocking Makebi Zulu, it's me. If there is a guy that has been blocking Makebi Zulu, it is me. If I had accepted Makebi Zulu by today, Makebi Zulu would have been sold. But each time the name was proposed, I was refusing. Valungu. After, because Valungu first, Valungu, he said, no, I cannot be in Shilefifwaya, whatever. Okay? But then, after vaingira ku bedroom, baisafuma, somehow, from nowhere, Valungu became interested in PF. Because the festival came. Remember, it's me who went to Valungu, not if Musawaira, abantu wale sawaira, Shanchani, we are the ones, whatever, kaka mwaicheka chair. Ulimwaiche sana mwaiche. If we play ama politics, pamulu, tutera pamulu. Wiramanga ndesa baira fya pashanja kwa liwa defo tuchita underground shishi twapita. If there is a person that really brought back Edgar Lungu, it is me. I went to Edgar Lungu. Remember, Edgar Lungu had stopped after, though he didn't write the letter. But really, Edgar Lungu had come out. Remember, he started karaka nanikane ka NGO afwa ilo kutampa kaliaka looking after bana banshiwa. You remember? Edgar Lungu, that is the way he wanted to go. Number. Inana inomona vena ina mundetere de wandi. After va UPND, vaisanjikata. After va UPND vanjikata, vanchita wanya kirikiti chari nkalipa. Efe vanchitreva UPND vari nchitovuvi. Nalandira kwa masoja na timu masoja mwavaranda timkala vapera 100% allowance. Tamule vapera. Ero na masalaries tamwa vafureshe. Tawa vafuresha masalaries. Na valandirako instead ya koti va UPND vanta shoko vati yo because nakupada pali uruntu there were issues underground. Instead ya koti vantashe vaisa nchitawa nyawanyo kuisa njikata kirikiti vantakanya vandonga muchitolokoshi 8 days na ikelimu 8 days ndefu mamu ya mndala wandiaya na ine pantu karape na mumutwe na fulwa. I was like these people, because some of you don't even know I supported HH in 2021. I supported HH seriously, and you don't say no I didn't make any contribution. I did. I made contribution in my campaign for HH, and afterwards I was actually working with them and whatever trying to talk to them. Na isa landakofa kufya timo bane chiteni for few promise vanjikata chali nkadi penjera finchi fya upuwefi ndefu mafya mudia muntu wandi na ile kuli Edgar Lungu tietu wela. I saw that there was no one who could beat HH. I saw the only one who could beat HH was Edgar Lungu. That's how I went to Edgar Lungu. Ukuyalanda, the first time I spoke to Edgar Lungu, it was like a shock. Mwele, awe, barikana. But meanwhile, vaestopo badi. I'm sure enough Mineko. It's like I'm sure vaesta valisa pampa mwechimwele imwe. Kuchimwa wela. Munga wele imwe. Munga pwele. Ipitane fast forward. Vamdala vachinja. Awe ndechifwaya. Ndechifwaya. Iyo vakeni. I said, okay, nani twala nankwe. No, you can pick anyone. I went back with the name of Brian Munduvile. Balungu bali sumine pali Brian. Awe Brian is good. What? And most of the times in the Kuriama meeting, Baesta Valeka, Rapatari Fidena Vekaramo, Valelanda, so Mavalanda. No, Baesta awe. She's not a politician. Niva politician. Niva proper chief advisor. Niva chief advisor. Bali proper chief advisor. Ngolefwe deal repeat there. If you want things to go well, if you convince your Esther, then why should Puma? So we picked it. I went back for Bran, and Balungu accepted Bran, and that is how I started Bran. We are where we are today. I started Bran. Take what I'm trying to claim the credit or anything. But Balungu accepted. But later on, afterwards, by Sanjita, we win a brani, Chavana Shani, Chana Shani, Tariana Mukumana Archbishop. That's why Ngandera and the party Archbishop. Mudamona Guata, Yo, Shansha never got Todika. But I know. Archbishop, you, Tariam Archbishop, Kumona, no manga Tariam Archbishop. Tell me. How does the Archbishop come in the issues of politics, in the issues of choosing who should be a leader? Shani. Naimona at Brania Pali Wafia. Naimona Wamdala Valley. After Rebuela, Wamdala Valungu, Vaisa Monati, Kuma Hospital, Shanjani, Tafirenda, Winoka healthy. Karebulera panshi balungu balisamuna anta ilienda bwinwe because of ukulwala kwabo. That is why I refused when they said no, balungu was killed by Hakainde Hichilema, because ukulwala kwa balungu kale kwa tampide, and it became an issue at some point whereby Nomba Balungu, he realized to say he cannot be president. He had to choose somebody else. And when he wanted to choose somebody else, he started looking. But they wanted to delay the matter, okay? They were looking for an opportunity to sell someone. And Balungu, for some reason, never Esther. They became convinced that Makebi can be president. They became convinced to say Makebi Zulu should take over. Makebi Zulu should take over. In the research, no. Makebi Zulu cannot be president. He cannot be president. So because of that, they started dilly-dallying. Makebi Zulu ayaposa eligibility case. Ila eligibility case, but they wanted to delay announcing that eligibility case was only there to allow Makebi Zulu, to campaign to win momentum. But the problem was because I was refusing Makebi. I was refusing him. Back in Munganda, Ibex, I was refusing Makebi. Balungu vale fwa Makebi. Hello, Vice President vale fwa. Nintwan kana ababeni bantwana ba mumbipiri. If you remember, that's how you saw Makebi Zulu working so hard ukufunya ba mumbipiri. Makebi Zulu worked so hard, if you remember. He worked so hard ukufunya ba mumbipiri. Because ba mumbipiri and Makebi Zulu, that was a project of Edgar Lungu. But in the chief propagandist, I was against that. I refused. I refused to say not Makebi. But you know the way Balungu is. No, you don't agree. He was not going. He was not interacting. Bale nishkukule kafefidia. By when I'm off it, he was not giving chance. Whenever Edgar Lungu did not agree with you, he was not giving you chance to convince him or him to convince you. Balungu was never direct. He would only say something direct. Niwa Esther. Ba Esther bena wale fumafi. Inanga hivi. So, shan. Bale wa direct. But not Balungu. So, ili ashiria kwa Makebi. Kale diya tampide. Afterwards, vamumbipiri, I'm challenging vamumbipiri kuti vamieva. Even ngavufinde vavepeshi. Vamumbipiri varalanda. I even went to see vamumbipiri. When I was told that vafire va vice president, I went kuri vamumbipiri. Kunganda kumyavo, na ile kunganda kumyavo, I went to her house to discuss this matter. Tamufinda mieva, vamumbipiri povadi. Balungu utumwa bati yo balungu balifua. But vamumbipiri povadi. You can ask her. I went to discuss this matter and I told vamumbipiri, munganda mumiavo, nishina tuikala, nefpuna fyavo file fisuma. Nefpuna fyavo file fisuma baye vya tika tushoko bashitile shana. Anyway, vamumbipiri, na isa leva, shimu wadi ufwe didi ya shida kwa bati, walefuwa balungu walefuwa timuwe wa vice president. Na Makebi Zulu have president. Vamumbipiri wewe awe. You know, she was not so straight. You know, Vamumbipiri, she's a politician. She was not so straight in the way she came out. She was not so straight, you know. But I said, kuli Vamumbipiri, that Vamumbipiri, ine Makebi Zulu, te chave Makebi Zulu, na likene. I said, imwe, if you choose any other person, if Valungu chooses any other person, and you as vice president, I can buy that. But Makebi Zulu, namukana, I said this nation, the Mozambia, Ishilafumamu. So, this issue, basically what I'm telling you is that the story of Makebi Zulu, Kale Tampa, some of these mass nations, they were being done to prepare for a time when they can announce Makebi Zulu. From there were other people that were calling me on Makebi Zulu. Other people in Shabalumbule. In Shabalumbule, other people, but there are other people that were trying to convince me, Pali Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu nalimukene. And I've got my reasons why I refuse Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu is immature. Makebi Zulu is selfish. Makebi Zulu alikoso mutima. Makebi Zulu alikoso mutima. Umuntu kuti wamwana but uyu muntu uyu alikoso mutima. Because Makebi Zulu nalibombere nankwe. Makebi Zulu. I worked with Makebi Zulu during the time yaba nanikane yaba Arabi in 2014 when Wasata died. I worked with Makebi Zulu myself. When Arabi wanted to run for presidency, when he was fighting with Vamdara Vanevas Mumba, when Arabi was fighting with Vanevas Mumba on that issue, I was on the side of Arabi and I was working with Makebi Zulu. Now, you know, the Pangama strategies, you are making these strategies. You can see how somebody is coming out. Makebi Zulu was very close to Vanevas Mumba, by the way. Very close to Vanevas Mumba. I want to believe, you know, Makebi Zulu has done this theology. I want to believe that he was inspired by Vanevas Mumba, Makebi Zulu, to do fiawu, pastor. Okay? Because he was also coming out quite charismatic, inspired by, I want to believe, not that he said it, but I want to believe, by Vanevas Mumba. Makebi Zulu was very close to Vanevas Mumba. But during that time, when Antoine Kane, Banda wanted to come back, and the Nevas Mumba also wanted to run for presidency, I saw how Makebi Zulu was coming out against Vanevas. I said, the same pastor that year, whatever, but look the way he's talking. So that was my first whatever. From there, ni pali mtembo nchito pona nshiremu mwena uyu mutima pali mtembo nchito. After Wasata Wafwa Edgar Lungu now is president, they came for mtembo nchito. They woke me up in the night in my Kalitu house there in Villa Elizabeth. They woke me up na Bushiku. Hey, no, we have got this petition. We want to petition the president to remove Mutembo Nchito. Not, now we don't, I can't sign this. Give me time to read through it. I will respond in the morning. I read through it. He entered the none for Matani, Shana. That is how they went to Changala. Changala is the one that signed a petition for Mutembo Nchito. And what followed, how Mutembo Nchito was treated, that is where I said, umuntu nangu ndewo mbana nkwe, umutima wakwe, ubi. So from there, that is how I said, umuntu cannot be a president. That is why I was even refusing Kuriba Antoine. Then from there, when he was given a position as minister and the member of parliament for Malambo, his conduct was useless. He is not a politician. So I'm not talking from without. I know Makebi Zulu. But I refused. I said it's okay. Vice president. Any other person, not president. Anyway, I think in Nalanda sana Didia Shilitani. Nala Pelesha Panalai Pangat ni part 1. Nalai Pangat ni part 1. I'll come with part 2 another day. Let me wrap it up by saying what I'm trying to say today. I'm trying to give you the genesis. I want you to understand the genesis of the PF confusion. To dispel this, assertion, this narrative that Hakainde Hichilema is the one that has messed up PF. Also, the courts have been brought in to say, no, the courts, I'm a judges, whatever. If you look at the judgment of today, in the first judgment, the judge said, no, Ama cases, there are so many cases. We can't rule Mao Sampa to be out of parliament. It was a good judgment, and Mao Sampa accepted it. There is another judgment that came out from Kabwe, where the judge is saying, you guys, you are still fighting and whatever. So, hold on. You cannot go for another convention. You are saying, no, this convention was not legal. Whatever. Oh, so, hold on. Let's not have too many conventions. There is a convention which you are complaining to say it's not okay. And you want to go for another convention. Hold on. And all of you, stop masquerading as PF, whatever. And Mao Sampa is saying, no, the judges, whatever. And you will see tomorrow, the PF will be running this narrative. They will be demonizing that judge to say, this judge, whatever. You should be able to respond to say, I am a confusion. No. These confusions were brought by yourselves and not the courts and not Hakainde Hichilema. That is my objective for tonight. I will come back and talk about other issues. Today is Wednesday. On Friday, of course, I'm having challenges, and I really wish there were some people out there. Because you don't even know who to talk to. You don't even know who can listen to your problems. You don't know. We are going towards elections, and to feel to the land, to feel to the but tetinde uko ushiku nambo kula savaila mailo ule chero munganda tamuli na bread shani wambo kula kutute tuise wika ule landa pa TV ule la kanaba gashi mwalisho munganda tamuli fyakudia ama problems yala bafe all over nangu ule ipitira fe wemwe fe wamkumira fe mwana kashi ule ipitira nisho mwampunkira chabana shani apo peni fyakosa nombanga mulela kamulela kutuwa isaikala pana wambo la londolola you can't era na pole ni 02 limoela kalipono kalipe why do you wake up at you disturb us chabana sha and you would want somebody that would listen to you and help you so that you can concentrate nomba mu UPND kutuwa bulano wa kulanda na kwa niwiso wala landa nanko you don't even know. But anyway, that is a story for another day. I think for today I will just leave it here as part 1. I will go on because I want to come and explain. I mean, this issue of Tonse. I've not touched the Tonse. I want to come and touch the Tonse and talk about Brian Mundubile, in the next whatever. And mind you, I'm not talking about Brian Mundubile like I'm moving. Because some of you are saying, no, hey, you have changed the camp, you are going with Mundubile. No, I'm not going. I discuss Mundubile as the events unfolds. What happened, what, that's when his name comes up, just like other names come up. It is not that I'm going to brand Mundubile. I'm supporting Hakainde Hichilema. I'm supporting Hakainde Hichilema, and I really wish I could be helped that I can do much better than this. I'm just being realistic. Anyway, now Isulama phone lines, just in case there is something that you want to me to comment on or to clarify on what I've said. I'm opening phone lines. You can call in and ask those questions if there are questions. Otherwise, nala mukula. For the we are going for elections. I'm insisting. I don't want Ngavalusa, va PF, vakatampokola that yo Hakainde Hichilema, got our party, whatever, F1 Chile fire. That I don't want. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Just straight to the point. Oh, chachi ne make bizuru ali kosomtima because ngaktu watch time imagine ichizo cha balungu twakwata up to now tatwashika nomba ngakucha sunga balungu ifyo mu fridge nako safyo mutima wati mwabena Zambia kucha basunga sha mu wike ontungurushi because president afwele kocha stance but at a certain point very for a way of it because barungu abali ba president baba sunga mu fridge up to now. What more ngari kwete amaka yabu president uli yabishe kuti maybe limbi abena Zambia ngabale for kutesta if your dictatorship yumfuika maybe wakamusale pakati wakaimwene maybe limbi na Fred memberi mianaka komutima kuba wika pamo bala babiri because Fred na Munia varia type ya
kutumwa mwenako
awe sure awe napita
awe alishupa ule makebi
good evening me is calling from Dege Township here in Dola.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, you have articulated so well over the confusions that have been going on in the patriotic front. Edgar Lungu is also the architect of these problems because when he announced his return to active politics during the annual celebration of Michael Sata's death, by then, Mao Sampa had already paid 200,000 kwacha with the others. They were just waiting to go ahead with the confusion. It was made worse by the announcement by Edgar Lungu that he is coming back to protect the PF party according to him. This infuriated Mao Sampa decided to go and hold the confusion.
No, listen. Don't confuse things. By that time, Mao Sampa had already taken PF. By that time, Mao Sampa had already taken PF.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Watayari.
Yes.
Watayari manjini nga na wakonka sana anakaji TCN mandi ntwali sana wino kwa kunyapo wa PF because wa PF bali sayangusha presidency bali yangusha president. Look at the way they were endorsing each other and the way they were the people they wanted to take over presidency like makebizuru na bu presidential material paja nangu okay tekulanda ati ndera shani na bu presidential material paja na experience mu governance or fyema politics takwata you know but na ena nga mwamona ale pitana kwatilimbi itiwa abakateka ai
Hello, first of all, let me comment on you that we agree. Wamona, sometimes we may not agree. Sometimes we agree. No problem. You now take it personal and start attacking me personally. Let's focus on the issues. But anyway, I agree with you tonight, because but I mean, those people who surrounded the Edgar Lungu, Eva Mushingurika, Vena Chanda, Avena Musukwa, you know, those sycophants. Anyway.
Guys. Look, Makebi, you know, but I might say it's a Monaco to Rapsana no. From the time I was working in government, I approached you to say, I'm there and therefore politics. You advised me to say, no. But me, I want you to be on the ground. Yes, you support Omuntu, it's fine, but I want you to be on the ground. You know, doing like do rallies here and there. You know, yes, on Facebook it's okay, but I think it's time for you. Look, after HH, tell me to be honest conversation. After HH, would you see after leadership, because we are going to have leadership crisis in Zambia. You get the point. Once I'm a season the politicians, that's why now abantu abagwanda ati mafia mutulo ati ndefo kwa president, because everyone has seen a tapali winga ta convince abantu wino. You get the point.
So umfale kankwebe. You know the difference between you and myself. Ine na bakwati nifira balanda ati umfwa okwe impundu shipona ni uli awikele mwisambali ya chimuti. You know, I am practically in politics. I am in politics. I am living politics. I am eating politics. Number one. So from your point of view, you want anything from outside. From outside. Even when you came to me, that's why I told you, konkanya poku womba festi. Because I'm a politician shupa. So even when you're talking about, I want you to be on the ground. How am I going to be on the ground? Like today, how am I going to be on the ground? Ngana isa ku Zambia, baka kamata fe, baka longa na mujere. Ukanshungira wana nyam. Abaka shpandinka sangabali upa. So, I must be careful. Even on the ground, you kwali wama permit muntu wandi. Teko afya tuwafe ule, ayo kupoka, yari shupa. Even to have a rally, to have a rally, you need money. In Zambia, to have a rally, just to have a rally, you need to have at least 200,000. Just for you to organize a stage, for you just to have that stage, you need 200,000. So it is not a joke. Ngamamona fimwe vitu rekosera pa social media. Nangu toewa tiyo. Elo wakumia na kuliimbisha kwa bati. After HH. You know, a problem wabantu wabengi wakwete na UPND. Na UPND, people have got a problem. They are already discussing after HH. If that is not being a good politician. You can't be talking after HH. Lelo HH is vying for 2026. Elo imamulela ndapadi after HH. Ema nonsense in devo kwisala ndapo next time. Ema nonsense because even by UPND, they are entertaining this nonsense of talking about after HH. There are even some fools who have started positioning themselves to take over after HH. Alafiabu Puba, and I'm not delusional to start talking about after HH. And don't say there are no people. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that can take over. If you are ma confusions yakwa nankane makebi Zulu. He thinks Ninebo. There are a lot of people, and if you are not selfish, if you are not self-centered, you will actually recognize that there are people who are better than you. But those people who are self-centered, they never see others in those positions, and they think that everybody else is not good enough as they are. One for Muntwandi.
No, apo you have a point, but 9 points nikamiwa kwa shikia kwandati. Papa point, yes, you are not financially sound. You for you to have variety, understand that point for sure. Because I know, but the other you to bring somewhere, but try at least never here. Try at least look for people who can financially, so that I am a point guy. One day,
okay, so Umfwa, you are saying look for people. What I'm doing right now, I'm advertising myself. One day, those people, because I don't know who has money, maybe you know. Me, I don't know who has money, who can support me. But I'm sure when I'm doing these programs, there are people who see, to say, I think this person, one day they will come to say, I think you can try it. So you also need to allow time and look at where is your niche and capitalize on that. My niche is social media. I am doing what I can in the meantime. That time when I will have people to finance me will come. For now, let me deal with this. Okay?
All right, now.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Tari.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Moses. I'm speaking from Kitu.
Yes, Moses.
Yeah, so I've noticed nowadays when someone is not supporting what you're saying, you usually cut the people. That's what you've started doing.
You, young man, and you, it's not the first time that you have called. Is it the first time that you have called?
No, it's not the first time, but if someone is not supporting you,
listen, and you each time that you call, it's not that you agree with me, and I allow you to talk. So those accusations, I mean, it's useless. But anyway, just to prove your point, let me cut you. So just to prove a point, let me cut you, because I always allow you to talk. And now you're okay, fine, I'll cut you. Hello?
Hello? Patan?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm quiet. Nafuma mkulondolo bishita umfuide. Nafuma mkulondolo kwa bati makebi zulu alikoso mutima makebi zulu naliwomba nankwe nalilia nankwe pambale imo. I know makebi zulu telelo makebi zulu naliwombele nango pali kesi yawa Silvia Masebo. Makebi zulu tuku wa Silvia Masebo kukoti. Makebi zulu defended Rupia Banda. Makebi Zulu helped Rupia Banda, and I worked with him on those matters. Makebi Zulu removed Mutembo Nchito, and I was part of whatever was going on. Makebi Zulu was Makebi Zulu was member of parliament for Malambo. He did nothing there. Makebi Zulu was minister. He did nothing there. Makebi Zulu, he was Brian Mundubire was MMD. Makebi Zulu, though he was not holding a card, he was also coming from MMD. And today, Makebi Zulu wants to talk like Makebi Zulu today. He wants to talk like he's the bona fide PF. PF. I want to have PF. And yet Makebi Zulu was fighting PF. So Makebi Zulu, that's why I don't want him to be president. That's why I don't want him to be president.
Ndanikonka sana mdara ndo mpaka na program yenu, because there's a politician who told me to say, well, to learn politics, you need to be listening to secretary. Though balamu wonsi yako kilasile ukubabu wonsi yako asenda kwenda rama noku ndanikonka sana wakara.
Wow, for number hold on a bit. Atukwasenda kwenda rama kwasenda kwenda rama lekankwewe muntu wandi. Tapawo consendo rupia for me to run an agenda. I don't. I run my agendas. No, but if you agree with my agenda and you want to help me, then you help me. But I never get money for me to run an agenda. I don't. If I were to run an agenda, I would have been running, if I was running agendas for money, I would have been running an agenda for Makebi Zulu. Because kuri Makebi Zulu, mind you, Edgar Lungu, eotwale umfwana nankwe. Na kandarama, ngakupoka kandarama, kafiro kale fuma kuri Edgar Lungu's connections. So even today, panonde idishana, ilio nale supporta Lungu tabale mpere mpia, but he had people around. Many people who were around Edgar Lungu, they were giving me money. But when they did kwa Makebi Zulu, I refused. If it was about money, I would have been supporting Makebi Zulu. But it is not about money. It is about what I stand for. And if you don't see what I stand for, fear me, fear.
I've been following you in 2021, 2022, your live program. I've been following. You were also talking about the something. You said SS to article something, SS movie, SS cover winner, SS this. But now you're talking good of him. So I guess you even study.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Before that, I was saying all that. HH this. Today, who is better than HH? Tell me who is better than HH. Tell me who is better than HH today. Okay, whatever I said, I agree. Whatever I said, I agree. But today, tell me who is better than HH.
There's no one.
So, shouldn't I? No, but should I continue on that trajectory? Ushama politics, tema politics, ama politics muntu wandi kumona ile yashani game hapa, ile yashani waimona ti game hii echecha pale ane womba wino echecha patapali winga mulopola
wagaramba tuareka kwa opposition lakini na zedi zuwa kwa akupime wale mleta kwa tira kwa support ale opposition yani tuika na taro sabra kwa kwa echecha balance is good government kana because they are going to be sianta so the best is we chance to Makebi or Brand Munduvire, but we see that Brand Munduvire is like I was following you the last life you had. Brand Munduvire is trying to be polite, to be nice to people. So currently, the guy that has got support is Makebi, and we need the opposition because the UPND they'll be doing things as they want the things to be done. That means there's no one to talk about it. The problem is they have. So let's support Makebi Zulu. We bring the checks and balances with the people that is going to come with. Because right now there is no force that the government is afraid of. They are not afraid of anyone. So they know what people are upset, but they don't know. They don't have someone that is going to control.
Natumfa na uranda point yo ilawekesha pono kuwekesha pokwati niwe teacher wa mungolo fair. Now for point walanda, you want opposition. Makebi Zulu, let Makebi Zulu be opposition. But now, problem na kwa tapadi Makebi Zulu. You want somebody who lets ta oppose if kweta mano. Not ule bonfiama emotions. Not ule bonfiama emotions. What do I mean ule bonfiama emotions? Analog per example, Ichitumbi Chava Lungu. Ichitumbi Chava Lungu, the one who has blocked Chukweba Tushike, ni Makebi Zulu. I don't think that is the kind of opposition I want. I want an opposition that will be reasonable. He says, no, we should mourn together as a country. Not you, Muntu Akobati. He want to take advantage of that. South Africa. That is not the kind of opposition I want. That is not the kind of opposition I want. I want somebody. Yes, I don't want one party state. No. I want somebody to oppose Hakainde Hichilema. But to oppose him, objectively, thinking of the country, not thinking of yourself. Makebi Zulu is being selfish by Ukomene Chitumbi. I'm sure even you would have loved to see a state funeral in Zambia. You would have loved to see Edgar Lungu's body and Edgar Lungu buried. But Makebi Zulu has personalized this. He has personalized, not if you have Puba, Edgar Lungu wanted, the family wanted, if you have Puba. It is about Makebi Zulu advancing his political ambitions. And that is why I don't want Makebi Zulu.
Yeah, then when it's not cover film data, but that was my view. I thought of contributing on this one. I thought we need
your view is very good. I agree with you. I agree with you. But that opposition should not be an opposition ishkwe tamano. We will never go anywhere. We are stuck Pachitumbi. How do you think the world is looking at us? If they look at Chitumbi Chakwa Edigalungu, how do you think the world is looking at us? They were sending condolences, and they were looking forward to coming Kuchirilo Muzambia and bury Edgar Lungu like they do in other countries. Look at Raila Odinga in Kenya. Look at how he was buried. Look at that former Nigerian president. Look at how he was buried. But now look at us. 8 months, number 3, only 8 months. Na number that washika because of Makebi Zulu. That is not good.
But isn't it the problem of the government? If they reduce the cases,
it is not the issue of the government. But is that a good position? No, is that good? Is that reconciling a nation? Is that unity of a country? That is the opposition you want Makebi Zulu to bring. That is why I don't want Makebi Zulu. And he doesn't stop at anything to advance his political ambitions.
At this moment, at this time, people want the Makebi so that the body comes back. Now, what happens if the UPND wins?
No,
is the body going to stay there for years?
That you should
what
ask.
Happens if
you should ask Makebi. You should ask Makebi. Anyway, so Makebi Zulu, it is the kind of person that he is. Whether you like UPND or not, surely it would have been better for us to bury Edgar Lungu. Hello? Hello? Yes.
Winner.
Winner mwana.
Yeah. Chama sana. Kulisana kuchara.
Iwere tietu lande padi diashi. Landeriashi.
So abantu abengi ndio ngifasa uyanda ila Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu upova umfika nokumfika nene bathi wokuthumbi. Upova isambo so now balabeni ngeba kuti facilitate ukutira baubelisheni kuti konka nyeposti noma wasara ukuthi abantu ngingawachika ekubana kwatayira ideya kuma population ukuthi ukuba yibe campaign na understand that na abana babashina zeni nabena bali family kumona boti ababeni abayibara bali suspect kutira kumbe arande esingalenga abantu bamatunga kuti ngaba president because not much from nowhere so na abantu abaganda kutira umbrani mundu bile sana same as abakwetena vimbe na Makebi Zulu matalo ndo leshingi sana Makebi Zulu kwayambire ni mwanda wante minister po yemu pifinshi kapali na mfimo so na ule mtama emotion ukufa kutumile charnisha nabo and sometimes random
I've lost that one. Hello?
Good evening, Matari.
Good evening.
Yes, Matari. So I wanted to get your political view over the opposition. What they should do now, since they are divided. What can they do to become so united?
That is a very good question. That is the question that I'll be talking about on Friday. That is what I'll be talking about today. I've mostly concentrated myself on why the confusion in the PF. I wanted people to understand where we are coming from, and the judgments, the two judgments that came out today, I wanted people to understand. The next thing I will talk about, what should we do? What is really going on? And I will even talk about UPND, even what is wrong in UPND, because even by UPND now, they have got their own issues. So I will talk about that on Friday.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Tayari. How are you, sir?
Fine, my dear. How are you?
I'm fine. This is Emmanuel from Samba.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I like to analysis over the opposition. These people quite right is when we talk about Makebi doesn't fit actually to stand presidency in PF because of this political ambition that made him so hard to bring the body of the ex-president. Now, my question: how can you advise and how can you help these opposition so that they can actually group themselves in order to give checks and balances to the current president or the current government? Because it can be cumbersome for a state like this to leave or to run without the opposition, because we're more like in one party state at the moment.
Now, so this is, I will be discussing this, I think, in my subsequent broadcast. For tonight, I was basically wanting to insist, I wanted people to understand where we are coming from and why we have the confusion in the UPND, in the PF today. But in my next broadcast, I will discuss those details.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you. After you keep it up, I like your analysis.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Usually I don't take second calls because there are so many people that want to call. So when you call once, I want to leave it there. But anyway, I'll make an exception. Be brief. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, so just a quick one. So I just want to make it clear to those people who are asking you to say, to those people asking Mr. Taj to say, or what advice can you give the opposition to unite and do all that? First point I think we should pick from Mr. Tayali is this. Mr. Tayali has declared himself to say he's a UPND supporter now. He's supporting HH. Which means that if he starts advising opposition, it's as good as him giving them leakages to shoot himself in the foot, something like that. Then secondly, politics is brutal. It's not about ukupata or okutemomuntu, no. Mr. Tayari is on the UPND side for now, at least that's what we can say. For now, he's on the UPND side, meaning that Makebi Zulu is on the other side. Even the analysis from a person who is on the opposite side, it can be positive. Even the analysis of Mr. Tayali about Makebi Zulu, the strong points which Mr. Tayali will bring out will be mostly to highlight the negativity of Makebi Zulu. Okay? So, Mr. Tayali cannot start advising Makebi Zulu how to be a positive person politically, or Mr. Tayali cannot be ideally start advising opposition to unite so that they harm the person he's supporting. I think there we should draw a line. Mr. Tayali is on the other side. and the Makebi is on the other side.
Very
And when we
very
talk
good.
about support,
Very good. I think you have campaigned to be my spokesperson. I will consider you as my spokesperson in future. Thank you very much.
of course, eh.
Thank you. I think that is how a spokesperson, should speak. Yeah, no, thank you very much. Thank you for that. But nonetheless, I try as much as I am supporting UPND, I also want to be objective. This is the issue about me. It is not just to say I'm supporting UPND and then, everything is all right. Everything is all right. That is where I differ, and that's where maybe sometimes people fail to understand me. Because even if I'm supporting UPND, there are certain things that I will not, just agree. Yes, unfortunately, in my politics, you want to be, ngolesa potomuntu, everything should be positive. What is wrong is wrong. And there is actually strength in criticism. There is strength, there is strength, there is growth in criticism. If you are ever saying, no, very good, there will be no growth and there will be no development. So sometimes we should be able to criticize. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes, good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is my first time to call you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a comparison on the result for this one, Finger.
Sorry?
Hello. I was saying I just wanted to agree with you on the behavior of the judgment which came out from Finger. Yeah, his active behavior helped him to have lost that result today. Then I'm looking at what happened with the Bowman Lusambo behavior during his case. There was a time when he was picked at the High Court, he was put in the van when he was telling police officers that look what the shoes were putting on. So he was somehow arrogant to the police officers, and you see what happened to him now.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much for that. And surely all of us, we should learn something from the humility of Wouden Findlay. Wouden Findlay is a rich man. Wouden Findlay has rubbed shoulders with big people. It is not actually just Edgar Lungu. Wouden Findlay has rubbed shoulders with other presidents, But his attitude when he was summoned to go to court, to the law enforcers, when he was brought before court, his attitude really was exemplary. And I think that helped him to get a fine, because those two charges are very serious, my brothers and sisters. We should be careful. We should be very careful, in handling our national documents. Anyway, for tonight, I'll end here. My broadcast was basically just you to understand where we are coming from. Never should you be cheated that no, UPND orchestrated this. No. The confusion started within PF. And the genesis was basically the conflict between Mao Sampa and Given Lubinda. That is where everything, rolled out. And now we are in such a confusion that the very person that sold out PF, that he messed up PF, is today back as a deputy secretary general, while others are outside. I'm seeing people making comments to say Brian Mundubire has been elected chairman. I need to confirm that. But if that's the case, I think that is very good. But I'll discuss that in my next broadcast. For now, I say thank you very much for following. May God bless you. May God bless Zambia. Good night.